Hello, I'm Wes Crawford, and I'd like to tell you a bit about my game, Terror Cell, Washington, D.C. The graphic arts and illustrations are by Kyle Reardon, and this game was inspired by all the counterterrorism movies and books that are out there, and this is my fictional account of a terrorist mission against Washington, D.C., the home area, which I love so much. This is for 1 to 6 players. There is a robust solo version against the terrorist bot, and it's basically a 2 players or 2 teams with up to 3 people in each team that can play this game. The scenario is that a group of 3 terrorists have landed in Dulles Airport, and it's known that they are now in the area and have 3 missions that they are plotting and have to be accomplished in 10 days. So we have a day track up here, 10 days. Each day can last up to 10 phases, and behind the screen, the Terror Cell player keeps a movement log sheet for each of their terrorists for each of the 10 phases. Most days are less than 10 phases, and if need be, we can break a phase up into 4 rounds if a firefight or an actual mission is occurring or something is occurring in downtown Washington, D.C. As you see, this is the map area of the Washington, D.C. area. We have Washington, D.C. within this squared out area up to the Potomac River. This is downtown Washington, D.C. Over here, this sort of rust color is Northern Virginia, and the lavender is suburban Maryland. And we have the highways. This is the beltway that goes around Washington, D.C. We have a subway system, the orange lines, and every area, neighborhood, and small city is represented by an area here. And you move from area to area. Basically, units will move along highways, but you always reside in an area after movement. The terrorist player, as I said, moves by hidden movement for most of the game. So there's a screen over here with player aids for the Homeland Security player. And we have a clue board over here because the terrorists have secrets. And as you can see right down here, we have some mission cards, primary mission cards, secondary mission cards. The Terror Cell player will have 2 secondary missions and 1 primary. And the object of the game for the terrorist player is to accomplish these missions and gain victory points. And they can also do that by eliminating Homeland Security units. And the Homeland Security player tries to keep those points to a minimum to win. With the secrets over here, we also have the identities of the terrorists, and here's a sample terrorist card over here. Very equal opportunity terrorists from homegrown and around the world. And they have characteristics: intelligence, firefight, science knowledge, and resolve, all of which are important during the game. The other secrets we have is the Hideout. The Homeland Security player basically moves their units around the board. Blue are police, black are agents, and here agents have special powers. You can see several of them there. White are bomb squads, and yellow are SWAT teams. There's also, way over here, a green meeple that represents Delta Force, and that can be brought in if it's a nuclear mission. So we keep track of things on this clue board. Essentially, the Terror Cell player will spend their time secretly moving to different locations, as represented by an area card over here, and when it's drawn, to take care of tasks, that is, acquire items or do things they need to do to prepare for their mission, which will happen towards the end of the game. And the Homeland Security player, in the meanwhile, will be moving around and will call out searches for the Hideout. And that's how they will gain clues. When the Homeland Security player gains clues, they will take clue chits out of this red bag and place them upside down on the clue board and the boxes under each secret. And this represents the area card for the hideout. That tells the area, and you have to find the precise location before Homeland Security could actually go in and raid the hideout, which would be fairly catastrophic for the terror cell player. So anyway, you put these little green clue chits down there. Terror cell player doesn't know their value, but just to give an example, this one is worth 2, this one is worth 1. They can have values of 0 to 4, and at a certain point, the Homeland Security player might believe they have enough points, clue points on the clue chits to bust the mission, to expose it, or the terrorists, or the hideout area, etc., or the assets even over here that have been collected so far. And the Homeland Security player would do a clue challenge and say how many points they have in that box, for instance. And if they have enough, which is written on the card, then that person or item or mission or whatever is exposed and turned over. I'll give examples of what they look like. Terrorists, again, might look like this. Here's primary mission, secondary missions. Here's an area card that tells the area of the hideout in this case. And so the Homeland Security player is in much better position knowing some of this information, as you might imagine, and can stop or hinder the attack. During the course of the game, a mission can also be often accomplished, if it's a bombing mission, with a time bomb. And that's another option. During the course of the game, the Homeland Security player can draw Homeland Security cards, can gain more reinforcements. A terror cell player can, during the course of the game, draw terror cell cards to help them with their mission. There are more area cards. One is represented for each area on the map. And when the terror cell player actually is out completing a task, they will draw a plot action card, which will tell a little bit of action, sort of cinematic action. And will often the terror cell player will have to leave some clue chits where this was done. So Homeland Security can go investigate those scenes after they've occurred and gain some more clues. Now, one place that you cannot use as a hideout is downtown Washington, D.C. That has lots and lots of targets there. Targets are represented by little target-looking places, like right there, bullseye. And what happens if you do have action in downtown Washington, D.C., you go to the downtown D.C. map, DDC map. And this is a map of downtown Washington, D.C. You use point-to-point movement. Each location dot has an identifying number, and there are lots of targets in here. And the Homeland Security player, woo, felt like an earthquake. But Homeland Security player can use this form, confidential, as you see. It's a target list. And here is a list of all the potential primary missions and all the data about them. How many clue points it takes to discover them, where they are. Different factions of terrorists can use different ones. And on the other side of the secondary missions. Obviously not worth as much as primary, but that gives an indication. And the Homeland Security player can do a bit of deduction to help figure out where the missions are by using that form as the game progresses. As you'll see in the very back there's the terror cell conflict tables, and there's only 2 tables. And you use a D10, and they talk about for firefights. They'll help you resolve firefights and what happens, and the various types of missions. So we have a stack of asset cards back there, and the terror cell player can always look through them and see what they want to do next, as listed by the tasks that have to be done for each mission. Those are different. And we have two rules manuals back here, the regular rules manual and the supplemental optional rules and the solo rules. And then way back over here, we have this template for a 10 kiloton nuclear bomb if it was set off in downtown DC. This would be overlaid where the bomb went off, and as you might imagine, some fairly catastrophic effects, and hopefully in real life it's a lot harder to pull off than it is in this game, and it's the most difficult mission in this game. So thank you for checking this out, and I hope this interests you to try it out, and have a great day.